And morning and welcome to the Olympian Table. As always, I'm here every Wednesday at 10 a.m. with my good friend, Mr. James Lee.
Good morning, good morning.
And what we got on the agenda this morning, James? Anything interesting?
Man, I don't even know. I'm just trying to get my head wrapped around the whole thing at this point. I'm trying to pull it all up, honestly. But I think we are good to go.
Yeah.
Let me see here.
Got a bit of rain out there today coming in.
Little bit. My grass needs it. I've been kind of going through some growing pains in that area, so I'm hoping that these showers will bring with it, some good growth.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of Texas needs some rain at the moment. I don't know if you remember me telling you. Going out to St. Marcos area when my daughter's at college, and them fields look brown.
Oh yeah, I can imagine because they don't have a whole lot of there's no sprinkler or irrigation systems out there.
Absolutely.
So I can imagine that it does look pretty.
So what do we have first on the list? What do we have? Mom raised her 2-year-old son because he liked to dress up in dresses and makeup.
Yeah, so I think was there a video clip with that?
Uh-huh. It's right over here.
So just listen to this, and we can kind of stop it in between just so I can kind of hear what they say. But we'll play the clip, and then I'll kind of give my commentary as we go through it.
So first of all, I will say that
online, and I thought it was pretty, interesting to say the least.
process, the journey is ongoing and probably will be for
pause.
Potentially her entire life.
So this is in reference to someone asking her a question about the process of transitioning her 2-year-old child, who's a boy, born a boy, shall I say, 2-year-old child, born a boy, now a girl. So carry on.
So a 2-year-old, she's made the decision for him.
We'll see, right? Let's just hear what's said.
Life, but here's how it started. So she was designated, assigned, observed male at birth, and until about 18 months, didn't really know too much. Just kind of was raising 2 kids, working full time, not really paying attention to what was going on. And at around 18 months, she started showing signs of like really being interested in things that her sister had in her closet. And
so first of all, designated, assigned, observed. He was born a boy. Just say born. He was born a boy. That's just what you mean designated. Designated. I mean, come on, lady. And 18 months. So this is a younger sibling that has an older sibling. 18 months, toddler, seeing the big sister playing with stuff. Okay, cool. That might be interesting. You playing with dump trucks? I want to play with dump trucks. You playing with dolls? I might want to play with dolls. 18 months, okay? Carry on.
Wanting to play dress up and wanting to put on lip gloss. And when she would see fingernails, she would want her fingernails painted too. And, we thought it was cute. No issue. We had no issue with, her wanting to do those kinds of things. And then around the age of 2, things started to progress at a quicker pace. And so each time that we would go to pick her up from preschool, she was fully outfitted in dresses and jewelry. And so I will say I was super stoked that we had such a wonderful childcare center that she was in, because she was allowed to, experiment with her gender and play dress up and do those.
So she was super stoked that her daycare basically allowed her born son to dress up in heels and dresses and jewelry, so on and so forth, right? She was super stoked about that, is what she says. I'm just listening to the language she uses. Okay, go ahead, carry on.
Kinds of things and have access to them. So when I would go to pick her up from preschool, like I said, she would be dripping in, just jewelry and clicky shoes and all kinds of stuff. And getting her to take that off to go home was usually a pretty gnarly struggle. And then around the age of 4, she started wanting to wear like leggings and headbands. She had this one headband she was completely attached to that she felt, I look back on it now and think to myself, gosh, I wonder when she put that headband on, she thought to herself, people see me for who I am. No one's going to misgender me now. And so it progressed. It just kept moving in that direction with more and more things that started showing more and more signs. She would say, when I wake up tomorrow, I'll be a girl. And we were kind of like, oh, okay, yeah. And my husband and I would be like, we gotta figure this thing out. And so kind of for that final.
So when I was watching it and listening to the language, she hadn't mentioned the man yet, right? So I was just like, well, maybe she's a single mom, you know, raising these kids or whatever. But then when she got to this point, so they started at 18 months, they got to 2, and now she's saying, oh, when she was 4, this is what happened. And now me and my husband were like, oh, okay. So they've allowed this behavior to continue for at least the past 2.5, almost 3 years while this child was actually growing up. So there is a man in the life, a dad. Carry on.
Final test, my husband decided, you know what, we're going to figure this thing out. We're going to tap into this and see what happens. So he said, you know, I'm going to coach a t-ball team and I want her to be on it. And so I was like, all right, let's do it. Well, that didn't go over so well. She not only hated t-ball, she hated the uniform, she hated the hat. We found everything in the trash multiple times. She was, you couldn't get her out the door to go play on Saturday mornings. And so eventually I thought at one point, well, okay, well, what if I let you wear your leggings and a tank top underneath, and we can, as soon as the game's over, you can take your uniform off. And she was like, okay. So she wore the headband. She didn't wear the hat. She wore the headband. She wore the clothes underneath her uniform. And she would go to the game and she would stand there. And as soon as it was like, game over, she would rip those clothes, you know, that uniform off and stand and proud in her tank top and her leggings. And very shortly after that, she told us she was a girl. And we believe her.
I hear silence in the room. That's all I hear at the moment.
4.
I'm gobsmacked.
This is becoming, and this video has had over 10 million views, I believe. People
since February 15th
are embracing this. Now, do what you want in your life or whoever as an adult.
Let me just, I want to go to one of the comments that was made. Yeah. Because one of the comments that was made, comment 3 down from Charles Bookwalter. This woman will have the fame she deserves in a decade when her son holds her accountable.
I totally agree.
Me too.
I totally agree. Now, I know people get to an age where they can make a decision. They want to do whatever it is they want to do. But what is he going to do when he starts those feelings that we all get as young men going into puberty? You look at a girl and it's like, ooh, man, what's going on? I'm feeling a little different here. Because that's just a natural progression of things. But to start this with an 18-month-old child, it's the wrong direction. It's truly the wrong direction. And at least put them at an age to where they can make the decision.
Well, I think something so drastic as the whole thing, and when you're making that decision, you know, for somebody so young, obviously, I think we're both on the same page.
Yeah, it's tragic. It's definitely tragic. So, anywho, I saw this video, and I was like, man, I gotta at least talk about it, because it seems like the now, and I was having a conversation with my wife as well when I showed it to her. It's almost like it's become almost like that status symbol to have a trans kid. You know, once I get a trans kid.
There's another interesting comment on the same thread, which says, from Vanessa Santos, it says, it is so manipulative. Her child just enjoys the attention and time with mummy. It doesn't matter what they do together. He would probably get the same thrill if it was building blocks with him. Instead of just relishing these moments with him, she's pushing this agenda.
Yeah.
Exactly what you said. And I agree that perhaps this is an attention-seeking ploy.
It is.
By the kid, you know. to get all the attention, especially if there's, you know, a brother and a sister. Like I told you the other week, even if your children are royals, they'll still argue and fight.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly. Yeah, it's unfortunate that it's happening, and it's being embraced. I mean, this is crazy.
This is one of the things that really does piss me off when the right wings of this country, like Stephen Miller says, it seems pretty clear that for a certain segment of upper income white progressives, having a trans child is a status symbol. What has this got to do with politics?
Or nothing about politics, but that's what I just said. It's almost like it's the new shiny
right,
thing. I got the new. That's the thing to do.
Yeah,
but it has nothing to do with politics.
Yeah, and that's what pisses me off when people really start to bring politics.
I think people bring politics into everything because they don't really have an argument anymore.
You know,
because quite frankly, if you dig down to the bottom of it,
that's just one of the reasons of splitting up the country.
If you dig down the bottom of it, Republicans are not what Republicans used to be, and Democrats are not what Democrats used to be. Quite frankly, we need a third party. You heard that here. Not the first time, but we're saying it again.
Absolutely.
But yeah, anywho. But yeah, that's what that whole clip was about, man. I thought that was interesting.
That's shocking, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, for a 2-year-old. 2-year-old. I mean, you know, I don't know, man. It's...
What part of the States does this lady live in?
You know what? I didn't even look that up. I saw the video, and I didn't even go to her page to find out, you know, who she was or not. But I don't know. It's crazy.
I mean, there's all sorts of comments. This lady is a sick person. Yeah, she's on our school advisory council.
What?
Yeah, from Blue Check. Yeah, she's on our school advisory council, and he's got Jesus.
Yeah, it's.
And then he says, and then the other thing that it really is interesting. Some of the comments, and it says Annie Frey says not wanting to play sports makes her more of a girl.
Exactly. And it's like the dad
and people want equality.
Yeah,
and the women want equality.
Yes.
You know,
and
in sports.
So all of a sudden, because you know you're going to coach a t-ball team, and now that's going to make him want to be, you know, a boy. Come on, man. How about you take him to go do something else? It's I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy.
That's one of the comments on there that's actually quite funny. But anyway, with that, I guess we'll go on to the next.
Yep, moving on.
Moving on.
Yeah.
That's
Well, we got number 2. So I didn't even know this was a thing, quite frankly, but obviously it is. Now, with the price of
Well, before we go any farther,
food.
let's just explain to everybody. You're involved in breeding cattle, aren't you?
Correct. Our own cattle.
Yeah. Right.
Yes.
How many cattle do you have now?
We only got we got a small 4 or 5 heads out there.
It's pretty cool.
I think there's one that's pregnant now again, but anywho, but yeah.
So there's feral cows to be gunned down by shooters in helicopters in U.S. National Forest.
Now, just giving some background, cows they're more intelligent than you give them credit for, okay? And once you have spent time around them, they're very keen on scent, just your whole attitude and so on and so forth. So
you personally?
Yes, to me personally. So I can go up and walk up to my cows, scratch them on the head or whatever, and they may not allow you.
And then if I went up,
they may not allow you to do that, right?
I panicked.
Right. So because it's different. They have very good eyesight. Little do folks know, you can almost stand directly behind the cow and they can kind of see you. Their peripheral is, because they got their eyes on, each side of the head. So anywho, these cows out here, I think it was in New Mexico that they said it was. I forgot where they said it was. There is a feral cow problem. Feral cows basically meaning that they're running wild. They started breeding And now you got a bunch of cows just kind of running loose. Now, although cows can be very docile, I could show some pictures of my son laying with his cows like big puppies. I mean, they're literally can get to the point where they're tame enough to where, they interact with humans. But in this national forest, which is in New Mexico, they're allowing these helicopters to go out and shoot these cows because they've been injuring people, apparently. You ever seen that? Is it a movie? There's a book I read by not James Patterson, Dean Koontz, called Zoo, where the animals turned on the humans.
But why can't they sort of round them up and get them to a farm?
Some kind of farm, some kind of where someone can actually do something with those cows. They said about 150 of them. They're not domesticated animals, and they pose a significant threat to public safety and natural resources. I've been around a lot of cows, even the ones that I don't know, because one got loose in the neighborhood one time. We had to wrangle it up.
Uh-huh.
They're very big and very strong, so you got to be careful. But you can get a cow to, once you get them, you can kind of get them tied up. I mean, you can move them. Why shoot them? Because they're a food source. If nothing else, they're a food source. You know how much meat you can get off 150 cows? That's a lot of meat. Now, I don't want to hear any letters or anything coming in and talking about, oh, you eat meat? Yeah, I eat meat, and I own cows. Yes, I still do. I can't break the habit.
This is Texas.
But exactly, this is Texas. But my deal with it is, why just go shoot them? Why go kill them? And now, if they're going to do something with them, if you're going to shoot them and then take them to some meat processing plant and do something with that meat to feed some people, okay, whatever, so be it. It's a pretty inhumane way to kill them, but because you're essentially killing cows anyways when you take them to the meat, but it's a different way. They kind of don't even feel it, the way they kill them. But nevertheless,
well, they just walk on an electric plate, don't they?
Well, there's a tube that they have that they can kind of lift them and they hit them on the head with that, and it's an instant kind of deal. But nevertheless, man, I didn't even know that there was even feral cows. It was even a real thing. But apparently they're running wild over in New Mexico.
Perhaps it's the people that live in the area don't know how to treat the cows. I mean,
possibly.
Where, well, they're out of control.
And I guess they've gotten
people
over
are under pressure.
They've gotten over to the national forest, so they've kind of where people are walking, so they can get aggressive. They say towards people, but cows, they're just not naturally aggressive. They're not carnivores.
But the natural thing is, in all fairness, we have an office down in Lake Jackson. I mean, we sell a lot of land down there, but whenever we're down there and there's cattle there or there's horses there, we always want to go up there and maybe see if they're friendly or not.
It's a cow.
But guess what? Some of them aren't.
Yes, it's a cow, man. I mean, it kind of saddened me a little bit to see that, but it is what it is.
Do you want to watch the
video? That's actually one in a neighborhood. You can see what happens. Let's see what happens when you try to catch a wrangle a cow. They're not easy to catch.
It's like, call a local farmer and.
Well, those were at a slaughterhouse. So these are cattle that were raised commercially to go to the slaughterhouse. So they've been around humans. When they get in herds like that, they kind of stick together, and you can't freaking catch a cow with your bare hands.
Right.
It can't be
I noticed
done.
that. Right.
You can't do it, man. I mean, you're at best you can kind of
If you want to
cage
get,
them
if you
in a
want,
bit.
if you want to get kicked.
Yeah, try to cage them in a little bit, run them into some, a trailer or something. But that's it. So, these dudes can't catch these cows like that. That's crazy. Anywho, all right, what we got next?
Yeah, I put this one in. The next one is that, by all accounts, Gen Zs are investing in real estate, and it should have took me a bit by surprise, but apparently, and there's 6 cities that are top of the list. One is Toledo, Ohio. The next one is Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Windsor Locks, Connecticut. El Paso, Texas. So Texas is on the list. And St. Louis, Missouri. I've been to St. Louis. I love St. Louis. Magna, Utah. And I thought that was pretty interesting how Gen Zs are now starting to invest in real estate.
In those cities.
And we do see, a little bit more, activity, to be perfectly honest, in January and February. So hopefully it continues, or may continue. So, but I thought it was interesting that Gen Zs are increasing.
Well, it's good to see that they're actually buying anyways, because there've been so many that were on the fence, just not doing it, because everyone gets afraid of the news that you hear.
Right, and that's what I think turns people off.
It does. It does.
I was watching a video last night, and it said, how the real estate market's the bottom's going to fall out this year.
They say that every year, every day.
It's like the video was made maybe 2 or 3 days ago, and when I looked at it, this particular video, it had it's only been up 3 days, and it had over 1 million clicks. And I feel that people are just doing this for the clicks.
Oh yeah,
that's all they're doing it for. And I just don't want that on this show. I want us,
we want to combat all of that negativity.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We want to keep it positive. I mean, we just want to keep it going. And the next one I put in, which I thought was a beautiful article. Have you seen this?
I didn't. Let me see.
A man buys a second-hand dresser in a yard sale in New York for $100. So he gets himself a bargain, all right? And then he took it home, and in the very, very bottom of the cabinet, and it's got a picture of the full cabinet. Can you scroll down a little bit there, Everett?
He's from our area too.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, there you go. That's the cabinet that he bought for $100.
Okay.
In the very bottom of that drawer, there's actually
Is that a marble top? Looks like a marble top.
Yeah,
to
it does look like a marble top. Well, anyway, no, don't scroll down. Don't scroll down. Well, yeah, I guess you can do it. Let's do that. Okay. And then, why are you moving? I wanted you to stay. I want to explain to people. Okay, good. Well, apparently on the very, very bottom of that, there's like a secret drawer. And then if you scroll to the top again, look at all them coins. There was rare coins in there. There was jewelry. That little hole in the bottom of there was valued at over $15,000.
Man, talk about a good investment.
Yeah, it wasn't in New York. You're right. It was in Texas.
Texas, yeah. He's Missouri City, they say. He's from Missouri City.
Oh, local to us.
Yeah, right here.
I need to go ask him for a loan. But I'm like,
So he had it all appraised. He got the $15,000, got it appraised.
He got it all appraised. $15,000 worth of all extras in the bottom.
Well, I've heard, just through reading and research of my own, back in the day, man, when they made this, the furniture was of course solid back then, solid wood, and very fancy and ornate. Hence the marble top. But there was a lot of furniture built with little secret compartments like that because people would break in. The police, in some areas they weren't really prevalent. So if someone broke into your house and took something, you never see it again. So folks built these things with little secret compartments in it. And, you know, sometimes you'll find stuff like this. So that's a lot. Almost a whole drawer full of, you know, precious metals and coins and such. So kudos to Mr. Nodell from right here in Old Mo City. If you're listening and you're watching the show, sir, kudos to you. I don't know what you did with the 15 grand, but I say get a second estimate because it might be worth more.
Do you know what he needs to do? He start a school. So, you know, start a school so people can go out there and do
antique shopping,
carried sales. Because obviously he's got the knack.
Yeah, show him how to find the good stuff.
But I thought that was, you know.
Yeah, we've got some antique shops around here. Shoot, that makes me. I might want to pop in, start picking up and shaking some stuff my doggone self to see what I can find.
What we got next?
Let's see here. We have
unintentional privilege.
God dang it! I think that was. We got internet because my freaking
yeah,
internet.
we've got it, but he's put the wrong link in. He's got the Discord link.
Ah, gotcha.
So let's work from. We can learn from Discord. We can do it from Discord, I guess.
Here we go. All right. I think it was just a discussion. So, first of all, you know who this guy is. I think we all know who he is.
Who is he?
This is Grant Cardone.
Oh, okay.
And he is
a motivational speaker.
Yeah, of sorts. I would say that, and I would even say he has a pretty good following of people, a good mix. I never would have kind of put a number on it because I have no idea, but I would assume that he has a lot because he talks about the 10x your income, your business, 10x your business income, so on and so forth. But anywho, he's written books, best-selling author, a real estate mogul of sorts, and as far as I understand, he has like a $4 or $5 billion portfolio in real estate.
Very successful man.
Yes, very, 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 very successful. But I want you to listen to this comment that he made on this show, and
let's
just give me your knee-jerk thoughts.
I'll give you my thoughts before you even play, and I haven't seen this. I'm not a Grant Cardone lover.
Okay.
I'll be honest with you.
Okay. Neither am I.
A very successful man, all right. But a lot of the stuff I feel is he's making his millions, like some of the others out there.
I'm selling stuff to people.
Just selling and motivating people, and it's a little bit of brainwashing.
Yes, I don't disagree with you.
And that's what I really, am concerned about. But anyway,
let's play the clip. Let's make sure it's not very long, but just you might even have to play it more than once, just so everyone can hear what's said.
About half my audience is black under the age of 40. It's because we go after that audience and we're talking to them in very street terms, if you will, very not big nomenclature, vocabularies. Mm-hmm. We just keep everything very tight and simple.
Okay, you heard it. Do you need to hear it again?
No,
what are your thoughts? Okay.
It's sort of reverse racist in a way.
Reverse?
I mean, as I said to you, he's more of a motivational speaker. Do you think he's going after Do you think he's going after? What he's really doing is, what do marketing people always say? They say, focus yourself on your audience and the people that is it after low income people to perhaps he feels he's got a better chance of getting them as business to keep his numbers up?
Well, it's even bigger than that for me. The fact that he is on this show with the likes of Laura Trump. Mm-hmm. Okay, and says that admits that his audience is, a lot of black people, 40 or whether under, and he talks street, and the nomenclature and his vocabulary kind of brings it down, so to speak, is what he says, almost as if, for lack of better words, I have to dumb down what I say for my audience. Now, whether he meant it or not, because I shared this clip with a couple of people in my circle. Good mix.
What was their feedback?
They were. What's his address? Let's go to his house. That was a couple of the comments. Another person said, sometimes things are taken out of context, blah blah blah. But I like to see the whole clip. Then they actually went and found the whole clip, and his comment was, I don't even know why black people would even follow this guy. It doesn't make sense, to me. But the point I'm getting at is sometimes, you might live in this world as well. You can be so insulated in your own bubble, so to speak, that your words and your comments, you'll say something, and this is Trump's biggest problem as well. You'll say something because you're so far removed from the folks that you're quote unquote supposed to be talking to that it can come across very bigoted, very racist, and demeaning, even if you didn't mean it that way, because you living in a place to where, to your own point, that's your biggest audience.
Right.
So do you feel like you have to talk down to those people, and down meaning kind of lessen the word choice so they can understand it?
What show was this on? Black what? Millionaires?
Or the clip?
It's in the middle of the clip.
Black no. That's who posted the clip.
Okay.
It's Laura Trump, actually. He's on Laura Trump's show. And I don't know what...
And it says black millionaires. So what I'm saying is he just using this as a way of marketing himself by having black millionaires on there?
No. So the page that posted this clip is Black
Trump.
Millionaires.
Okay.
It wasn't Black Millionaires show. They just happened to post a clip, and they're branding the clip because it came from their page. The show was Laura Trump's show, and for those of you that don't know, Laura Trump is Donald Trump's daughter-in-law. She's married to Eric Trump. Anywho, but they posted the clip itself on their page, and it was shared from there. So that's how it actually got that whole logo on it. But it's a short clip. It is kind of taken out of context. It's a short sound bite, and it sounds probably worse than what he meant it. So the reason I brought it up is a lot of times, things can be taken out of context, and it can come across a certain way because you're so far insulated from the people. I guarantee you, Grant Cardone can't. He probably doesn't hang around those folks or that group of people on a regular basis that he says that it is his audience.
There's an organization that I'm involved with, and they do a retreat. I've never been to the retreat, but they have Grant Cardone go there, and they say, hey, how good he is and different things. And I've looked at some of his work, and obviously he is very successful. But I think there's more to it than reading books, because you can read all the books in the world,
right?
And you can do all the classes and all the training that you want, but that doesn't make you successful. You've got to fail a few times before you actually get to the point of doing anything with your life.
You got to put some action into it.
Have I done that? Yeah, plenty of times. So
definitely. But yeah, I thought that was an interesting...
It was a very interesting comment by Grant Cardone.
Yeah. And again, to your point, I'm not a big fan of them. Because like you, I think you end up selling people a dream. You're selling books. You're not really concerned about their success. It's more you selling these books.
But you know what I hate about a lot of these motivational things? You go to a 3-day seminar. So you go to a 3-day seminar. And then so you go to the 3-day seminar, or sometimes you have to pay something to go. Then, well, if you pay another $1,000, then you can come back and you can do an extra 2 days.
Right.
And then on top of that, then you can do a mentoring program, which is $8,000 or $10,000 for a mentoring program, and that's what drives me
It's
nuts.
just stacking the money up.
And some of the stuff you can't do legally in the state of Texas because we have that with wholesaling. They call us up all the time, the wholesalers. And some of the stuff in Texas you can't do. So anyway, now I'm going to enjoy the next topic.
I thought you would.
This is what really gets me boiling, going. Come on.
So
Meghan Markle upset and overwhelmed by South Park episode.
So, do you know what South Park is?
Sort of, yes.
Okay, South Park is.
I don't watch it. I'm not
Gotcha.
to that point.
It's an animated series that I think started on Comedy Central, and they have walked the line forever. Kenny and Stan and Kyle and Cartman and all those guys. They make fun of everybody. No one is exempt. They make fun of everybody. But they always put a disclaimer in the show that says, hey, the people in these shows are fictional characters. Even if they're based off a real person, they are fictional. They're not real, blah, 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 so on and so forth. So apparently, South Park made an episode of the royal couple, Meghan and Harry. And she wasn't too happy about it. Now, South Park has been around for a long
she's
time.
Not happy about a lot of things.
Yeah, she isn't. And my thing is, first of all, am I to believe that you're sitting around watching South Park? I don't think so. But basically, they made this episode, and I haven't seen the entire episode, but it basically goes into them wanting their privacy from the masses, people approaching them, but they're out protesting with signs that say, hey, we want our privacy. Stop looking at us, blah, 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 so on and so forth.
What have we been saying all the time? Have we been saying that?
And it's crazy.
We want our privacy, and they're on social media.
You're on Netflix. You're on everything. Do you really want it? Is that what you really want?
Do you know anybody that is world famous, all right, and has any type of privacy?
No. It comes with the job. It comes with it. Even if you want that. That's why. Now, don't get me wrong.
The house they were staying in Canada, is that Tyler Perry's or is it somebody else's?
You know what? I don't know. I don't know whose house that is.
Yeah, I heard the other day it was Tyler Perry's.
It might be. It might be. Because, she's in that Hollywood world, so he may have allowed him to stay in there.
Yeah, and he's brilliant. Tyler Perry is just unbelievable. He's an incredible actor.
But yeah, man, I thought this was very interesting to see this episode, of course, out there. Who comes out and cries about being
There was a photo that was put on social media, and Harry mentions it in his book. And it's Meghan Markle pregnant with a baby, and he's kissing her belly.
He's
kissing Meghan Markle's belly. All right. And it was on social media. Now, you can argue how cute that is and everything else, but at that point I'm thinking to myself, is that really the way that, and I've told you this, that somebody in the royal family acts? Something that they even want to get involved in. I mean, to me, there's not much of a thought process in that. All you're doing is open yourself up to criticism.
Yep.
To, if you want a private life, then you have to be private all the way across the board. I mean, there's people that have won the lotto that are more private than them.
Exactly.
You never know who they are.
You never know who they are at all. It was interesting to see this, but they're asking for all this privacy, but you're out in front of the cameras, and I know you got to make a living, but come on, really? You're doing interviews with Oprah and all these other folks. You want us in your life, so don't get upset when we make shows and comments about it, because you are literally throwing yourself out in front of the masses for criticism. You're definitely doing that. So
Yeah.
yeah, I thought you'd enjoy that little tidbit of.
Yeah. Well, you know, I enjoy Meghan Markle.
Yes.
You know,
I
and
know.
what upsets me so much is the English people in general really, really took her on in a very, very positive light. Very positive. A lot of people were very excited because there was, you know, a black woman in the, involved in the royal family. It was a time for a freshen up, if you want to. And then when all this came about, that and all the dirty laundry between William and Harry, was released. That's the part that sort of upsets me, and I think it upsets a lot of the English people because we're very proud of our royal family, regardless what people think. We're very proud of them. They do a lot of good work. They raise a lot of money for us. Do they cost us money? Yes, but at the same time, they raise a lot of money for charity.
Right.
They work hard. I wouldn't like their life. Miss Meghan Markle, I don't want your stardom at all. I'm just quite happy to live my regular life. Okay, with that being said, I guess that's it.
That's it for today, man. That's all we got.
Yeah, and we appreciate you tuning into the Olympian Table. So if you're looking for a loan, I wanted to contact Mr. James Lee.
Yes, all my information is down in the description box below. Please reach out for refinancing, purchase, investment, first-time home, second home, any of that good stuff.
Yep, and if you're looking for anything in real estate, whether it be investing, second homes, purchasing land to build on, anything like that, you can contact us at Century 21 Olympian. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Thanks a bunch.
Take care.
Peace.